Hey guys, this is Dave.
And I'm Jasmine.
And this is Engineered by God. Today we're continuing our Parenthood series and talking about something that was actually sparked into my mind by a comment left by my friend Paul Daniel. I don't remember the exact comment, but what I remember feeling was learning to let go. I think throughout this time in parenthood, there are some things that we've had to learn to let go so that we could move forward together as a family. And so today we're going to talk about some of those things, and hopefully they can help you and your family. So you want to go first, babe?
I'll go first. So, for me, I had to let go of control, and I'm still working on it. But I think I have let go of, relinquished a lot of control. In the beginning, I had a hard time allowing things to get done in a way that was different from how I wanted things to get done when it came to Josiah. And so I think I got to a point where I got, overwhelmed because I was trying to do everything myself. If I want everything to be done my way, then I end up doing everything myself. And you wear yourself out, you wear yourself thin, and you really can't. So I had to learn to let Dave do some things. And he told me, if you want me to do things, because I stopped asking him to do things because he wasn't doing it my way. And he told me, if you want me to do things, you have to allow me to do it my way. Just because I don't do it the way you want it to be done doesn't mean that it's a wrong way. It's just a different way. And so, it took me a minute to do that. But I think over time, maybe just because I was wearing myself out, I had to do it. And then in other areas too, even with other people, when it came to other people watching him and how they wanted to feed him and do things with him. And I was like a new mom, and I learned how things should be done from whatever sources I got it from, and I just wanted to stick to that. And I had to realize they've raised more kids than me, so it's probably not, they don't want to harm my son. They love him too, so I had to just kind of say, all right, I'm going to let you guys do it the way you do it. And it'd be different, but at the end of the day, it's all right.
Yeah, and for me, seeing Jazz trying to let go of control, it's like, in our dynamic, she's typically been the person who wants a lot of control over whatever we're doing. I don't typically have to have the need of being in control. And so I understand that I have to kind of support her in letting go a little bit. And I don't want to say proving that I'm worthy of her trust. But essentially showing, I'm here as well. I'm also his parent. I care about him just as much as you care about him. And I'm going to do my very best. And the thing too is, Jazz has been thinking about this being a mom for a long time. So she's made a lot of plans, a lot of thought has gone into this beforehand. And for me, it's like I became a dad when I held him almost, you know what I mean? So oftentimes she is thinking ahead, and has thought ahead of things that I'm just now getting to. And so understanding that it's not always that she wants to be in control, but is that she's thought about this and not, lashing out oh yeah, you gotta let me do it the way I do. It's no, she's thought this through already. So giving her some grace as she's trying to let go and understand that there may be other ways of doing things, Also understanding that, she's also putting a lot of work to have these opinions and thoughts. So I do think her letting go of having to be in control has been a really big, area of growth that I've seen in you, honestly, over this past year.
And it transcends into other areas, not just parenthood. It started in parenthood, but it helps me in other areas, of my life too, which is good.
Yeah. And for me, the first thing that I had to learn to let go of was Jazz. It sounds weird, but so we've been together for 8 years, and we talk about how much we love our interaction, how much we love our dynamic together. And so for the majority of that, it was just us. Josiah wasn't here. And so I think in my mind, I had this mindset that we're just going to add on Josiah to what we have. And I think, you start to realize that if I'm holding on to what we had, you know what I mean, I'm going to miss out on what we have right now. And just because it's not going to be the same doesn't mean it can't be better. In the last video that we posted, what's the title of that video again? Parenthood marriage. Something about parenthood marriage. But in the last video we posted, I said that, I know Jazz the wife and this is Jazz the mom and it's a new person. But honestly, there's no separation between Jazz the wife and Jazz the mom. She is Jasmine all together. And so I had to understand this is a new person and I need to also adjust into this new person. And so, letting go of this idea of who she was and having to stay that way as opposed to seeing who she is now and getting all on board.
I didn't know you were dealing with that. Now I know. A second one for me would be letting go of this idea that I have to have it all and have everything together. It would be nice. It would be nice if, my son could be all taken care of and the house could be looking spotless and ready for guests at any moment. And if I could easily get rid of this mom pouch that I got going on and just eat balanced meals every day. And it would be nice if
anybody living that life? Like, is anybody doing all of these things like on their own without paid help? All of these things? Goodness.
I don't know.
I feel like every single day, no matter how hard we try, the house is always a mess. Like, I feel like all we're doing is making more space for Josiah to make more of a mess.
Not even just Josiah. We're making a mess too. But it's just, I don't know. It's just a never-ending to-do list. A never-ending list of things to do. And there's all this, everybody wants to be super mom. And I think now the culture is kind of going in a way where it's telling women that you don't have to be well, not that you don't have to be super mom, but super mom doesn't mean that you have everything together. You're just mom, so you are a super mom. So I think I'm trying to just understand that a little bit more and put less pressure on myself to perform in a specific way, And if people come over and my house is a mess, that's fine. I have a kid. What do you expect? So, I think that's it for me. That's my
I feel like that one is is a lot easier said than done though. You know what I mean? If somebody's like, I'm coming over today, I'm gonna clean up. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to let go of that.
No, if we're being honest, he definitely has the hardest time with that, letting go of, a messy house, because he just doesn't like
Josiah is doing this new thing where he goes into the cabinets, he rips the door open, he just starts pulling things out like he owns everything in there. And it's just like, come on, son.
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning a new thing about him because he's a little bit more of a neat freak than I thought.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just like in the spaces that people see when they come. Like, if our room's a mess, I can live with that. But like the kitchen, the family room, the living room.
That's not true. My dad got us a ball pit. And it's like a little big, it was a ball pit connected to like a little tunnel and tent. It was kind of big. And Dave did not want it in the family room. Mind you, no one can, when they come in, unless we invite you into the family room, you're really not going to see into the family room. But he is like, I'm supposed to keep this up.
But why are people giving us gifts that take up half of our living space?
Because it's in our house and it's not in their house.
Oh my goodness! Like, it was cool for 2 days, but I'm like, come on, this gotta go.
So now we had to store it, and then we kept a couple balls out, and we'll bring it out. Once he forgets it by a little bit, bring it out, and it'll be like a new toy.
If you find it. Yeah. For me, the second thing that I'm learning to let go of is this right here. But I'm kind of struggling with it, to be honest with you. Like, when Josiah was first born, we used to have these amazing bonding times in the morning. I would take him downstairs super early. I'd basically watch a movie with him. But, he was a newborn. He was sleeping by my side. So I was the one really watching the movie. Mm-hmm. But as he's growing, more and more, there are times where I'm on my phone and he's like at my feet or something, you know what I mean? By my hip or whatnot, like trying to get my attention. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm on Instagram. It's like, what are you doing? Like, put your phone down and just spend some time with your son right now. Mm-hmm. And it is, I don't know, I just become so accustomed to being able to, on my free time, like just be on my phone or be on the internet or watching TV. But now there's another person who's like becoming more and more aware. And I don't want to set the standard that, he's second place in some way. Like, if I have time, then I'll get off my phone and play with you. Like, I want him to understand that he is the priority to me. So yeah, but I'm not that good yet. I'm not gonna lie. I was struggling with that before this video started. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a work in progress, but that's something that I'm learning to let go of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the last thing that we are learning to let go of as a family is this pressure to think that the end result is going to be because of our efforts, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. We kind of touched on this on the last video, but all we can do is the best that we can do. Mm-hmm. Right? I can just try to be the best father I can be. Jazz can try to be the best mom that she can be.
And we can pray.
And we can pray. But ultimately, we are trusting in God to lead us in helping raise our son. Lead us in helping being better husband and wives with each other. So, go ahead.
And he ultimately, knows the kind of person that Josiah is going to be. And so we just... Like you said, we pray and we trust that he is going to be a good person and that we don't screw him up too bad. Because there's always something. Right. Like, no matter what. You could be the perfect parent and your kid's going to be like, yeah, my dad was great. My mom was great. But it's always a but.
Right.
It's always a but.
Right. And, like, to be honest, like, looking back at life, there are so many moments where if I would have had my way, you know what I mean, things would have turned out probably not good in many areas. Mm-hmm. And looking back, I'm like, wow, God really engineered that for me to be in the right position, even if I thought beforehand that was a setback. And so I know with our son, like, there may be things that I think is the right way to do things, mm-hmm. but being obedient to the Holy Spirit and what God is telling us in that moment mm-hmm. Is going to be really crucial because, again, like, we may have a plans for him, but I know God's plan is a better plan for our son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have nothing to add.
Well, that's it for this video. Like always, if you liked the video,
give
right? And subscribe for future videos.
And click the notification bell so you just know when
come
we
on now.
upload, you know? We haven't been saying that,
Like
but you
do
should
it
have
now.
done it.
Like
You should have done it
like
already.
right now.
All right.
We'll wait.
No, we won't. All right, well, that's it. See ya.
Come on, man.